Taurus family, what is going on? Welcome in. I'm Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we're looking at your monthly energy for January 2024, baby. Whoop, whoop. New year. I hope you're doing well. I hope you guys had a fabulous holiday break, holiday season. I hope you feel reinvigorated, rejuvenated for the new year because things are starting to move. They're starting to move forward. I'm excited for this year. Ooh, confirmation on that. Sorry, that's my washer, but yeah, confirmation, right? It's going to be a good year. And I think as we're moving into the beginning of this year, the vibe, the flow is shifting a lot, where we're starting to see things open up a little bit more. Places where there was block or restriction, you know, at the end of the last year, the energy is starting to move again, which is pretty dope. So it makes me excited. All right, Taurus, we're going to start with our energy clearing always. Feel free to grab a smudge bundle if you have one on hand, or just receive the energy from my end, or definitely skip ahead if it's not your vibe. I like cleansing things out. It's really good to keep our energy in balance. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure love and grace. I release anything that does not serve us so that we can receive the highest and best messages for our heart, our mind, our soul. Come on. Okay, so welcome. Feels good, right? I hope you're feeling good. I'm feeling good. Woo, no. I kind of feel like that a little bit. It's been, you know, I've gotten a lot of rest these last couple days, been doing some wellness practices. I did this Ayurveda, it's a process called Shirodhara, and it's basically like they pour warm oil on your third eye crown chakra-ish. It is actually amazing, like how cleansing, how re-enlivening it is. You think that's what I love about Ayurveda, is it's so powerful with such simple practices and techniques. Definitely look it up if that's your vibe. If not, no worries. Okay, so intimacy popped out for you, Taurus. I'm hearing this is really kind of like evaluating, you know, what your measure of intimacy is. What is really true, authentic intimacy for yourself? This month, just astrologically, Mercury goes direct, so it gives us, you know, like I was saying at the beginning, a little bit more of an opening. Uranus goes direct at the end of the month. So we're not going to have any planets in retrograde for the next several months. Sorry, the flame is weirding me out and I'm seeing smoke from over here. I'm like, oh, great. It's a disaster waiting to happen, Deborah. Okay, so water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You could be dealing with this energy. This could be someone you are in an intimate relationship with. Or, you know, intimacy, obviously, it can be many things. It doesn't just have to be romantic. You know, as we're moving into the new year, this is a lot about gaining the momentum, like still keeping on the balanced path, so to speak, so that we can maintain that positive momentum. Most of the aspects that are showing up for us this month are actually pretty positive, like more of the important ones, I should say. But there still are going to be those little things, the nitty-gritty, that kind of throws us off or creates the annoying tension, etc. Mercury retrograde obviously comes up for you as the front and center. So this to me feels like something that happened during Mercury retrograde. So the last couple weeks of December into the beginning of January, that really needs to be dealt with, okay? Gambling. So this might involve, you know, literal gambling, like someone going out having a problem with spending, but that can, you know, it can also be shopping too much. I mean, we're just coming away from the holiday season, right? It's a time where we spend so much money. And like, even in ways, I consider myself a fairly frugal person, but even in ways that you don't expect, right? Where it's just whatever, it all adds up. So when we go to that excess, when we overindulge, it really pushes us out of balance. And this feels like this is something, like I said, there was some type of overindulgence. I feel like it came out around the holidays. It reared its ugly head. And I feel like, you know, this is really Spirit saying you need to check in with your health and with your well-being. What are you able really truly to take on? And what do you need to let go of, release? Oftentimes we go to those coping mechanisms when our life is out of balance, when we're feeling unfulfilled or too much stress in certain areas, right? We go to those places of codependency, whatever, bad patterning in order to make ourselves feel better. The brain is always looking towards more fulfillment. And that's why the instant gratification, instant pleasures are so intoxicating, right? Because it relieves it for a moment. Spirit is calling you to have patience this month. So maybe you need to be patient with yourself. Maybe you need to be patient with those that you're dealing with, those in your environment. It's not saying like continue to let anyone do you wrong, is what I'm hearing. Don't be a doormat. Have your boundaries, set them if you need to. These are even boundaries with yourself, you know, like maybe you need to put some limitation and restriction on your own stuff. So really keep those things in mind, but don't automatically go to this dark place of this is how it's always going to be, or I'm never going to break free from this cycle, or this person's not going to. I feel like there is patience in the process, but there's also this call to get healthier, right? Take care of yourself, your mind, your body, your soul, because that's also going to bring you some clarity as well about the things that need adjustment and change. So basically, don't make any rash decisions this month. It's not specifically the time to do it because I feel like there's still things evolving underneath the surface that we have to be patient for to see how it plays out. And I'm also hearing like you have your hands full in other areas. So don't try to overload your plate. Don't try to get everything hashed out at once, Taurus. It's crazy making, right? It's the proverbial, I know I say this a lot, but Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay? So my true success is measured by my alignment. Remembering that, like you are a very successful energy, especially when it comes to career, finances, etc. But it's not going to come if you keep spinning your wheels, is what I'm hearing. So when it comes to our career, our business specifically, like how we're kind of growing and building ourselves, it's better for you to take 10, 15 extra minutes in the morning to like find some grounding and alignment with yourself versus putting, you know, getting another side hustle, taking on another job, more clients. It's acting smarter, not hard, working smarter, not harder, acting. So with that in mind, it's not, your success is not about how much you do. That is not going to bring in what you want. And it's actually not going to get you to the place that you want to go. There's something about your career, what your ambitions, that is not coming in the way that you wanted or hoped. And it's making you feel a lot of feels, and understandably so. But it's something that I feel like you end up shaming yourself, belittling yourself, putting yourself down, etc. And that's not really the approach that you need to take. It's asking you to be a little bit more diplomatic with your energy, Queen of Swords, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. It's all about finding a better balance, being more rational and diplomatic, not letting the emotions take over and consume. And just like understanding things, I'm hearing in a practical way. You're an earth sign. Yes, earth does have water energy, so that can be where we get a little bit overly emotional, so to speak. You have the King of Fire, King of Wands, Gemini, Libra, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. I just, like, sometimes I get lost up here, so I apologize. I do my best to keep myself grounded in the practical, but, you know, when I'm doing these messages, I can float away a little bit. So this is, you know, I feel like it's kind of working with someone who you have different beliefs and opinions around, and it's making it really hard to kind of find common ground. I feel like this is also what's making you feel really emotional. Things are shifting and changing. I also feel like you didn't 100% expect this, and I'm really sorry, Taurus. Like, it's never fun to go through those types of things. I'm gonna pull the Empress. Okay. So just remember, you know, here's the thing. Sometimes a door closing, I love this. You cannot make this shit up, guys. Like, seriously, the Empress just popped out of this deck as well. So, and that's Taurus energy, right? So it's remembering what I was saying is, you know, not every closed door is a missed opportunity. If anything, it's just that friendly reminder that that thing wasn't really meant for you. So I feel like this is like kind of saying to swallow your pride a little bit. Your home, your family, it needs your time and your attention right now, especially whatever this overarching energy was bringing, excuse me, bringing up past stuff, etc. And some issues coming up with it. The more that you attend to those types of things, I feel you're going to be a little bit more grounded and balanced. I can focus on what I do want in a relationship versus what I don't want. Reminding us that the more when we get into this lack mentality with career, with finances, it's really hard to come out of that. We have to be our own best cheerleader, right? We have to be the one that's cheering us on as we're moving through situations where it looks like it's a dead end, or it's challenging us to know our self-worth and our self-value. Sometimes we have to listen to people having a different opinion about that in order to find our empowerment. It's not an easy thing to move through, but you're stressed about money. This could definitely tie back to, you know, the overindulgence that we were seeing in the beginning of the reading. So again, just like be really conscious with your finances. I feel like this is that squirreling energy. So really, to the best of your ability, try not to overspend this month. Be really frugal. Set up a budget plan if you need to. This has been a pretty consistent theme with all the zodiac readings, just as a heads up. You know, and it makes sense. We're coming from the holidays. This is about like you setting yourself up for success. This message actually came through in the Aries reading. That it's like, pay yourself first, right? Don't be so worried about how things look or how they appear. I think your home, your family needs a lot of attention. And I feel like you feel a little bit house poor right now. And here's the thing, don't shame yourself. Like, money comes and goes. That's just the reality of it. We all have times of abundance where we feel so good and on top of the world. And then we have times where it's just not that way, you know? And it's not fun. I mean, I just went through this last year of having like $0 in my pocket. And it's exhausting. It's stressful. It is, you know, really scary in a lot of ways, especially when you have children, when you have a partner, when you have people to take care of. But Spirit's saying that, like, we're always provided for. That was the one lesson, you know, and obviously something I know, but we're always taken care of. Even when we are down to our last dollar, we're always taken care of. And when we put our faith and our belief in that, that is when we see the abundance come in. Beneficial beliefs feel better when I think them, right? I love the way that the Abraham Hicks uses the concept of manifestation because it is a simple flip of the script, right? So when we are annoyed and angry and frustrated, it just perpetuates those feelings, right? We get pissed off, we're in a bad mood, we don't want to talk to people, we penalize other people for our own stuff, right? And this is actually just calling you to be a little bit more diplomatic, is what I'm hearing, with how you approach, especially this situation. Especially if it's someone else who like squandered the money or finances. That's never fun. That's never easy. But I think it's also ascribing to that higher moral value. Having empathy, understanding, and there's a certain level of like honor and respect that we give our partners, our, children, family when we do that. It actually helps soften the energy, and it helps us to have more beneficial beliefs, to believe that someone can do this, can see this through. Queen of Cups energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, someone who's feeling really left out. They're letting their emotions get the best of them. I think this is making it really hard. It's really hard to stay. The home and the family this month for you guys, this came up in Aries reading as well, so you might have a lot of Aries placements or be dealing with an Aries. But there's a lot going on. A lot of reshuffling is what I'm hearing. So try not to get too stressed out about it. Honestly, it's, again, that surrender, that trust, that faith that the universe is working things out to your benefit. And it's the hardest thing to believe as we're navigating through the harder stuff, right? By default, I could have attracted an unwanted relationship. So this ties into your health and wellness. Maybe you are taking care of someone that you weren't really signing up for this thing, or you didn't want it to be this way, or, you are participating in a habit and a behavior that you're not proud of, etc., or your health is taking a toll. Maybe you're sacrificing yourself for someone else, or sacrificing yourself to avoid things that would be more heart honoring for you. Spirit is asking you this month to really check in, tune in. You got health in your overarching energy, Taurus. So really tune in to where you need to be a little bit more vigilant about your health and wellness practices. That's probably why, or it is why, you attracted some more low vibey energies. Just be a little bit more intentional. Find more balance in daily routine. That is one of the easiest ways that we can implement wellness. Waking up at a certain time, going to bed on time, eating at certain times a day, getting exercise, meditation, etc. Things that kind of just give us an opportunity to tune in to the natural flow, the natural cycles that are present within all of us. I think that you have to be, again, so we have King of Swords energy. A lot of this is about being more diplomatic and rational to your approach with the Mother of Earth. So there we go. There's partnership, but it's in two people coming from a different perspective, two people understanding things in a different way. One person is looking at things more rationally, more practically. The other person is about nourishment and about taking care of the well-being. And when we have those difference of opinions, it's like, again, we really have to tune into what is healthy for us. other people's wellness regime isn't necessarily what is right for us. That is a huge proponent of maintaining health and well-being, is by knowing what's right for you. You know, maybe yoga's not your thing. You know, I love yoga, but maybe you like to do a CrossFit class, or, you know, run on the treadmill. I hate running. Like, I like it in theory, but like, I don't know, I'm a little too lazy. I'm not gonna lie. So that's the value of what I'm talking about, right? It's finding what works for you, because you're gonna stick with it more, not listening to someone else's ideas or concepts about what that should be. Because honestly, it is the devil right now. It is playing a big role in like bringing you back down into a space that I feel like you've worked really hard to get out of. You know, this is like, don't go at things too quickly. Aries got this reading as well. It's like, don't try to take on the world at once. You know, lasting change happens when we do it slowly and methodically, when we implement one thing, two things at a time, wait until they become a habit, a couple weeks, whatever, 2 months, however you want to roll, right? Because there is a little bit of this like back and forth energy, where it's like, if you are like, okay, tomorrow I'm like gonna eat super healthy and go out and run 5 miles and do all the stuff that like you haven't been doing for years. Well, how practical is that? I know it goes without saying, but I think when we get inspired to be healthy, to be well, it's really easy to fall into those habits and you know, like into the belief that like we got to do everything tomorrow, where in reality it's like the worst thing we can do for ourselves. So you know, I think that some of this is also going to help balance your external environment as well. Billions of us are living in perfect diversity. This message came up as well for Aries in our community. So we just have to remember that everyone's effing different, man. Like, you know, there's this value to not get too stuck in this concept or idea of how everyone should live. That is actually a little bit more sticky than, you know, especially because here's the thing. I see your community shifting and changing. I see you actually branching out to new people, new places and things. And this is starting to unfold this month. So with that in mind, try to be a little bit more open-minded is what I'm hearing. No shade, Taurus. We all have our judgments. 2222 is on the clock. So it's remembering that like we all have our own belief systems, etc. But then we have to find a way to work in partnership, in harmony and diversity with one another. And that's exactly what that 3 of Pentacles energy talks about. It's working together harmoniously. And honestly, we cannot effing do that when we have so many judgments or expectations of other people. This is about being a little more relaxed. It's funny, on this Justice card, it is the card of cannabis, and it reminds me of how like chill out, right? Just like chill out. Everything doesn't have to be in this neat, orderly package. It doesn't have to look the way that you think it should. Oftentimes it doesn't. Oftentimes spirit surprises us, right? And that's actually where you find your abundance. Like, you have a lot of really good support in your community and your family environment. And I feel like you have a groundwork for making lasting relationships, Taurus. It's like, don't let that be spoiled because there's too much judgment, too much, you know, gossip or, you know, whatever. Like, I feel like there needs to be a little bit more balance. Yeah, we can bitch and complain to the people that are close to us. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. We need to get it off our chest. But if you're doing it in a way to tear other people down, or it's like actually limiting the connections you can make with other people, then what's the point, right? Okay, so this says babies are thinking and attracting before they are speaking. So this is that value of remembering that really the law of attraction is that foundational layer. And as much as like I think we all are conscious of this on some level, this is actually bringing it into your reality. And I think you need to begin again around some things in your life with that Ace of Fire. This is like finding passion, finding the balance, finding, you know, what makes you excited, what makes you hopeful, what drives you in life, and giving yourself that clarity and not limiting yourself in the process. Like you can actually have what you want, right? But it also requires certain steps. There are cycles. There is natural unfoldment. And when we fantasize or want something, but then don't do the steps, well, you know, it's going to take a really long time for us to get there, because basically spirit has to like force you along, or is just going to give up because it's like, well, what's the point? How badly does someone want this? So, Nine of Cups. There we go. So that wish fulfillment energy, like I get spirit's asking you really to step outside of this box of limitation this month, Taurus. Really give back to yourself. Don't be afraid of who you are, what you bring to the table. Broaden your community, broaden your horizons, connect with some new people. Astrologically, the energy is fabulous for that. Mars is really helping push the energy forward in places that we haven't been seeing lately. So just be reminded of that. It's supporting us right now towards what we want. For you, there's just some cleanup from the past, whether that's you, someone else. Be patient through that process. Let things unfold. I think that there is this energy of the Tower a little bit for you, where it's like, let things fall apart, see what's left. I know. See what's left, and you know, and then you can rebuild from there. It's rebuilding in a smart and intentional way versus like forcing yourself into something or into another cycle that you don't really want to be in anymore. You've done the work, you're already there. It's just like readjusting some of the choices, and I feel really confident you're going to be able to do that this month. It's just being a little more patient through the process. So Taurus, I hope this reading helped. Thank you so much for your time and energy always. Drop comments below. I love to hear how these things resonate and play out. Otherwise, I will see you next month. Lots of love. Thanks for tuning in always.